Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you like this episode, please remember to hit the like button and leave a comment or two, then subscribe and click on the bell to receive notifications of whenever we release new videos. Also, please remember to share them to your social media.
Welcome back to Scary Bear Attacks. Today's episode takes us to Dunbar Lake, about 43 miles north of Sioux Lookout in Ontario, Canada. This area was covered in vast ice sheets during the last ice age, beginning about 21,000 years ago and ending about 10,000 years ago or so. The glaciers that covered the land then were as thick as 9,800 feet, with weight that crushed rock into soil as they slowly slid their way across the landscape. The ground rock, known as till, is one of the best soils for retaining water and is one of the primary causes of the ponds and lakes that are scattered across this area. In the centuries following the most recent ice age, the glaciers slowly retreated, leaving the till to act as the foundation for one of the world's largest boreal forests. Broad and uninterrupted forests including ash, birch, chestnut, hickory, oak, and walnut trees create a shady canopy that rises over the land. It is part of the Carolina Forest Area, which stretches from the Carolinas in the United States into southern Ontario, Canada. White-tailed deer and moose haunt the shadows, while bobcats, coyotes, wolves, and black bears stalk their prey. In the early morning hours of Saturday, May 19, 2012, 65-year-old Gordon Shurvell was enjoying his annual fishing trip with his lifelong friend, 63-year-old Danny Alexander. Each year, the men had made the trip to Dunbar Lake to fish and catch up on each other's lives. They'd been friends for the last 55 years and had enjoyed many adventures together over the decades. Gordon and his wife Mary had been married for 46 years. Gordon had grown up in Winnipeg and had recently suffered 2 strokes and suffered from diabetes. He enjoyed hunting and fishing, but knew that his health might cause him to stop participating in the coming years. Each year, the 2 old friends would begin planning the next year's trip as soon as they arrived from the current year's trip. In the early morning hours, Gordon had decided to start the day with a trip to the Outhouse. The potty overlooked the lake and had a magnificent view, which was a peaceful sight to start the day. Gordon settled in to take care of his business and left the potty door open so he could enjoy the scenery. As Gordon took care of his business on the potty, he wadded toilet paper in one of his hands and prepared to finish up. As he glanced up, he noticed a bear's head at the door of the potty. At first, Gordon thought that the bear would dash off if he just showed it he was a person. Now, Gordon had had his fair share of run-ins with bears over the years. For the most part, the bears had dashed into the brush upon sight of a human, but occasionally they were more curious and lingered for a few moments. Gordon assumed that this bear was curious more than threatening. As Gordon sat on the potty, the bear repeatedly tried to bite onto his feet, but he continually moved them out of its reach. As the bear continued trying to bite his shoes, Gordon kicked his feet toward the bear's nose, but his movements were limited by the fact that his pants were down around his ankles. The bear wasn't driven off by Gordon's kicks, though, and stretched its neck into the outhouse to bite onto his pants. Gordon tussled with more vigor with the bear, hoping that it was only curious. The bear used its grip on Gordon's pants to pull itself closer to him while he struggled to defend himself. This is when the sinking feeling of just how dire Gordon's situation was hit him. As fear gripped Gordon, the bear climbed into the outhouse with him. He grabbed the bear and pushed against it, but the bear locked its jaws onto Gordon's right shoulder. Feeling the pain of the bear's teeth penetrating deep into his flesh, Gordon screamed out to Danny to get a gun. Then the bear gripped its jaws onto the back of Gordon's neck at the base of his skull. The bear clawed and bit Gordon across his back and ripped the flesh of his shoulder as it pulled him from the outhouse. It tugged and jerked him about 15 yards from the entrance to the outhouse and ripped a gash in his lower left abdomen. As the bear dragged him, Gordon tried grabbing passing trees and bushes, but the bear was too strong and overwhelmed his grip. Now certain that the bear was going to kill him, Gordon laid flat and pushed his face into the muskeg to protect it from being chewed on by the bear. Back at the cabin, Danny heard a scuffling noise outside and Gordon yelling for his help. He quickly hopped down a few of the steps on the front porch before turning back around to grab the rifle inside of it. Now armed, he headed through the brush toward the outhouse and Gordon's screams. Upon locating Gordon, Danny could see the bear standing over his friend, but couldn't get a clear shot at it. The bear was too close to Gordon, and Danny knew he might just shoot his friend if he fired at the wrong angle. Then the bear turned toward Danny and away from Gordon, presenting a clear shot at its head. The bear was on all 4 feet and had its head lowered as it stared in Danny's direction. He took careful aim at the bear's head and squeezed the trigger. The rifle's report echoed along the lake shore as the bear piled up, dead only a few feet from Gordon. Pictures of Gordon's wounds would not pass YouTube guidelines, so I've posted them on my Patreon account linked below. The images are not bad, but do give you a good idea of how painful and incapacitating Gordon's injuries were. As Danny trotted to Gordon's side, he could see bloody punctures in his friend's shoulder, side, and the back of his head. The long claw marks down both sides of Gordon's back seeped blood as well. Wasting no time, Danny helped Gordon to his feet, and they made their way to the vehicle back at the cabin. Once Danny had Gordon loaded into the vehicle, they sped their way to the Sioux Lookout Hospital, about 40 miles as the crow flies to the south. Once they arrived, Gordon's wounds were cleaned and bandaged. The wounds on Gordon's head were closed with 12 stitches. Gordon was released back to Winnipeg the following Tuesday after his 3rd round of rabies vaccinations. In summary of his condition following the attack, Gordon indicated that he was sore as hell. Following the attack, Gordon dubbed Danny Sure Shot and dubbed himself Bear Bait. He stated that if it weren't for Danny's quick reactions, he wouldn't be alive. Gordon's future outhouse plans no longer include leaving the door open. He says he will close it and put up with the stench to avoid a second bear attack. Gordon commented that the bear appeared to be healthy after he had escaped its jaws and claws. Only 1 month after this attack, Gordon returned to the location to continue doing what he enjoys. After reviewing the facts surrounding Gordon's bear attack, I'm left with a few questions for you. Do you think the black bear would have killed Gordon if Danny hadn't killed it? What do you think was the bear's motivation in attacking Gordon in the outhouse? Would it have attacked if the door was shut, or did it matter? The next time you use the outhouse, will you make sure to shut and lock the door, just in case a hungry bear wanders by? I think I'm going to bring a gun and bear spray. I will gladly read and reply to your thoughts, so please post them in the comments section below, and let's talk about it.
Thank you for watching Scary Bear Attacks. If you've enjoyed this episode, please consider clicking on the like button and clicking on the bell icon. We'll help you know when we post our new episodes. Posting our video links to your social media profiles furthers awareness, and it's fun. We slashed our prices in our merch store, linked below, so check out the bargains there while you shop. As a member of our human community, remember to adventure bravely and be careful out there, especially in bear country.